Los Angeles suddenly became the center of attention in the global entertainment world. Amid the city's bright lights and global media spotlight, a shocking moment occurred. An emotional confession from Kim Taehyung, better known by his stage name V of BTS, suddenly made the atmosphere fall silent. The confession, spoken in front of thousands of fans and the media, is believed to have hit Jungkook's heart hard. The question now is, what exactly did Taehyung say? Why did his words make millions of fans cry? And how did the situation become so dramatic in LA, a city that usually serves as a place for BTS to celebrate their success? This incident took place at an exclusive event whose details had previously been kept secret by the organizers. Initial information only mentioned that Taehyung would be attending a music event involving several famous international artists. But no one expected that, in the middle of what should have been a joyful atmosphere, he would suddenly deliver a statement of a personal and emotional nature. Meanwhile, Jungkook, who at that time was also in LA for different matters, is said to have immediately learned about the confession through a live broadcast watched by millions around the world. Sources close to both artists stated that Taehyung's words not only touched the hearts of fans but also carried a hidden meaning that seemed to be directed straight at Jungkook. This is the part that has many people speculating. Is this related to their personal relationship, the dynamics within BTS, or perhaps something even bigger that has never been revealed to the public? Eyewitnesses at the scene described the atmosphere changing drastically once Taehyung began speaking. Beforehand, the cheers of fans and camera flashes filled the room. But when he took a deep breath and began his sentence, the atmosphere seemed to freeze. In simple yet heavily burdened words, he spoke sentences that immediately brought some fans in the front row to tears. Videos circulating show his eyes welling up, his voice slightly trembling, and long pauses that heighten the emotional tension. Sometimes we stay too silent, even when our hearts are already full. But tonight, I don't want to be silent anymore, was roughly the snippet of Taehyung's statement that quickly went viral. Those words did not sound like part of a song promotion or a regular greeting. His tone carried a sense of loss, disappointment, and honesty rarely shown in public. Not long after the statement, social media timelines were filled with speculation. Thousands of fans tried to interpret the meaning behind those words. Some believed it was Taehyung's heartfelt expression about the emotional distance that has recently been felt between him and Jungkook. Others linked it to the rumors surrounding BTS that have been circulating recently, ranging from internal conflicts to pressure from management. Meanwhile, Jungkook's presence in LA added another layer of mystery. According to local media reports, Jungkook arrived in Los Angeles 2 days before the event took place. Initially, he was said to be there for photo shoots and meetings with several American music industry figures. However, his being in the same city as Taehyung at this crucial moment has made the public wonder, is this a coincidence, or is there a deeper connection? Some anonymous sources claimed that Jungkook appeared gloomy after the confession spread widely. In fact, one eyewitness said he left an important meeting early with an unreadable expression. Speculation grew wilder. Was Jungkook offended, sad, or perhaps feeling guilty? Entertainment media in South Korea and internationally began running investigative coverage. They tried to contact HYB, the agency managing BTS, but as of this writing, there's been no official statement explaining the context of Taehyung's confession. This silence only fueled public curiosity. Many believe that if the statement were not significant, the agency would have immediately issued a clarification to calm speculation. But on the other hand, pop culture analysts see this moment as one of the biggest emotional points in BTS's history. The group has always been known for maintaining a positive image and avoiding airing internal matters in public. But Taehyung's confession in LA broke that pattern, indicating something big that has been kept behind the scenes. For ARMY, the term for BTS fans, this is more than just drama between members. They feel there is a deep wound, both for Taehyung and Jungkook. Many fans admitted to crying while watching the confession video, not just because they were sad, but also because they felt Taehyung's sincerity and courage to speak. They fear that the friendship and professional relationship that has been built for more than a decade is now at a breaking point. The question haunting everyone now is, will Jungkook respond publicly? Will he appear in front of the public to provide clarification? or choose to remain silent, as he has often done when facing sensitive rumors. Considering his tendency to be private about personal matters, Jungkook's next move will determine the direction of this story. Meanwhile, Los Angeles remains the focus of attention. Every move by Taehyung and Jungkook is closely monitored by the media and fans. The hotel where Jungkook is staying is even tightly guarded by security staff to prevent crowds of fans wanting to see him in person. However, some paparazzi photos show him walking alone in an underground parking area, wearing a black hoodie and mask, as if avoiding attention. However, in the midst of the wave of emotions and the flood of speculation, the truth began to surface. After more than 24 hours of the public being hit by rumors, video clips, and wild interpretations on social media, several facts finally came to light. Information gathered from official sources and related parties revealed that the narrative that had been developing, that Taehyung's confession in LA broke Jungkook's heart, was in fact not true. The first clarification came from one of HYBE's representatives, who finally decided to speak up after public pressure peaked. In a written statement, the agency stressed that Taehyung's remarks, which were cut and spread on social media, were actually part of a casual interaction segment with fans, not an emotional statement directed at Jungkook. They explained that the original context of his words was about Taehyung's personal experience dealing with work pressure and how he learned to speak more openly to ARMY as a form of appreciation. Unfortunately, some parties edited and cut the video, creating a misleading perception. It has nothing to do with Jungkook or internal conflicts within BTS. Taehyung and Jungkook continue to have a good relationship and support each other, wrote HYB. This clarification was reinforced by the full recording released by the LA event organizers. In the nearly one-hour video, it was clear that the moment which went viral was only a small part of a casual Q&A session. Before the cut sentence, Taehyung first told a story about how he often held back personal stories because he felt they were not relevant to share on a public stage. He then continued by saying that on that occasion, he wanted to be a little more honest about himself, a statement that, when seen in full, actually sounded positive and inspiring, not sorrowful or full of insinuations that in fact, after the event ended, several fans present immediately shared other videos showing Taehyung smiling, joking, and warmly interacting with the audience. There was no sign that he was experiencing emotional turmoil related to Jungkook. Just a few hours after the event, Taehyung even shared a photo on Instagram stories showing the night view of Los Angeles accompanied by a heart emoji, a gesture indicating that his mood at the time was perfectly fine. Meanwhile, regarding Jungkook's presence in LA, the facts revealed were very different from the narrative built on social media. Jungkook was indeed in the same city, but his purpose was purely to attend business meetings with an international creative team and to record briefly for a collaboration project to be announced in the future. His schedule was tight and did not intersect with the event attended by Taehyung. In fact, according to his personal manager, Jungkook did not have the chance to watch the event's live broadcast at the time because he was in the recording studio. Jungkook learned about the viral news only after our team informed him the next day. He was surprised to see the interpretation that had developed and immediately contacted Taehyung to make sure everything was fine. They spoke warmly and laughed about how easily a statement could be twisted on social media, the manager revealed. This statement was in line with Jungkook's post on Weverse a few hours after HYB's official clarification was released. In his message, he wrote that he and Taehyung were on good terms, asked fans not to worry, and reminded ARMY to always seek information from official sources before believing the news that circulates. He also added that the rumor not only harmed him and Taehyung personally, but also affected the work team that was preparing BTS's new project. This series of facts proves that the news, Taehyung's confession broke Jungkook's heart, was merely the result of a misunderstanding exacerbated by a viral video clip without context. Social media, which often serves as a space for fans to express themselves, this time also played a major role in accelerating the spread of a false narrative. Many accounts with millions of followers immediately re-uploaded the clip with dramatic captions, without verifying it first. This phenomenon is nothing new in the entertainment world, especially for public figures as big as BTS. Their massive popularity means that every move is under the public microscope. Unfortunately, this situation also opens a wide opportunity for misinformation to thrive. In this case, the emotional reaction of fans who love BTS actually became the fuel that made the rumors spiral out of control. For some fans who had already been swept up in the story, accepting such a clarification is not easy. The emotions built up from the start made them feel connected to a narrative that turned out to be untrue. But in the end, the truth must still take precedence. Many ARMY later realized they needed to be more careful and critical of the information that circulates, even if the source looks convincing. This experience is a valuable lesson, not only for fans, but also for the media and all parties involved in disseminating information. This incident reminds us that a single sentence taken out of context can drastically change its meaning, create conflicts that don't actually exist, and cause unnecessary emotional wounds. Now, after the clarification has been delivered, the situation is starting to calm down. Taehyung continues his activities in LA with his scheduled agenda, while Jungkook returns to focus on his music project. Both continue to show a good relationship behind the scenes, as they have done for years. Fans are now beginning to shift their attention to positive things, such as anticipating BTS's comeback and each member's individual projects. This case serves as an important reminder that in the digital era, where information can spread across the globe in seconds, the responsibility to verify the truth lies with each individual. Not everything that looks dramatic on a phone screen reflects the actual reality. Sometimes, the most sensational story is just the result of a mistaken interpretation, and the only way to know is by finding the full context from a trusted source. In the end, even though millions of fans once cried and got swept up in a story that turned out to be untrue, this incident opened a healthy discussion space about the importance of verifying information, protecting the privacy of artists, and prioritizing empathy over assumptions. Taehyung and Jungkook, two figures who have long been an inspiration to many, have once again shown that friendship and professionalism can endure through the storm of rumors, as long as the truth remains the main foundation.